guitar as well as ever, which is not very well at all, so that's okay. Hello, I am here. Hello, Philip. Yes, I'm going to Wales tomorrow. To Wales until next year at least. And then I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat a beast. No, what? I don't know what that is. Undescribed. La 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 la. Yes, so I'm going to Wales. Woohoo! My parents phoned. My dad phoned me on his mobile phone. He's never phoned me on his mobile phone. Never before. He's had credit for ages. He didn't know how to use it. I've got him down as Dad Harris on that. Hello, blessings. Off to Morville. Yes, exactly. Wales, the Morville. The wrong sort of whale. Completely the wrong sort of whale. But Donald Trump got confused about that, didn't he? He thought that windmills were killing whales, and it annoyed some people in Wales. It's a different thing altogether. How far is Wales from me? Well, it's going to be very close tomorrow. It's about 180 miles, I'm going to say. Something like that. So, somebody with a van is going to pick me up, and I'll go with all my stuff. I'm going to have to stuff it all in. All my stuff is going to be stuffed in. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Yay. Wow. Joyous Sunday to you too. Yes, so what I'm going to do then is anybody's business. I know there's an event on... Somebody invited me to an event. There's an event on the 2nd of December that I'm going to go to. Well, then I don't know what to do. It's Christmas. So the whole thing is just... Whoa! Dropped my thing on the floor. Yeah, so the whole thing is, because it's sort of coming up to Christmas now, it's a bit of a sort of... I'm in between these. Oh, it's very echoey in here without the backdrop. I've taken the backdrop down and put it down to pack and everything. I've still got... I tell you what though, I've got this thing here, which is a reflector, which I can't pack up because it sort of pops together. I'll show you, but it's got like a folder, and unfortunately the moths seem to have... so you can do that and make it small, and then you're supposed to put it in like the cover, and it goes small, and you can carry it about. Unfortunately, the zipper's broken on the cover, so I can't make it small. So that's probably not going to fit in the van. It'll take up all the room. So I don't know what to do about that. But yes, so I've got dust everywhere. The moon landing, exactly. I recreated the moon landing with my reflector. My reflector shield from Star Trek. It's not really. Yeah. So I'm feeling a bit sort of, because I have not known what I'm going to do for ages and ages. I'm in a bit of a sort of twilight zone, really. I absolutely no idea what's happening, really. But I might come and stay with somebody in January. They're going to clear a little back room for me. But how much did I have to throw? I had to throw a lot away. But then I found out that my parents had contacted somebody about this van. They didn't have to throw quite as much away as I thought I was going to. But I threw so much away. And I gave loads to charity. Boxes and boxes and bags and bags and bags. And still there's so much here. And I'm leaving most of my books here because the people that are moving in might want to keep them. They can deal with them because it's too much. I've run out of boxes. I've got like broken suitcases. Like one time we went to I think it was Poundland or Pound Stretchers, something like that, to get a lovely big suitcase for me to carry back, and I put all my stuff in. It cost £30, so it probably wasn't the most expensive suitcase in the world, but still nothing. Anyway, my dad bought it for me, hooray! And I put it on the coach, and then I was at Victoria Station, and I had quite a lot in it because it was a big suitcase. So you want to fill it up, and I dragged it, and about 4 yards in, it started smoking. It was just... it took up smoking. It just the wheels melted. The friction on the wheels were tiny. The wheels are tiny, and the suitcase is big, so it could not cope with it. So it's a useless suitcase, but it has come into play now because I've run out of boxes, and so it is a box. And because I don't have to carry it anywhere really, I can just pick it up and put it in the van. I hope it fits in the van. Then I can use it as a box. So I've got loads of broken suitcases that are no good as suitcases. I keep buying suitcases and they keep breaking, but I think you have to buy... It's like the boots in and more pork. Where if you can afford the expensive ones, then they last forever. If you get the cheap ones, then they break and you have to keep buying them. So yeah, it's a very Ankh Morporky suitcase, my Ankh Morporky suitcase, la la la. And it breaks. They've all broken. They're all useless, but the zips are sort of holding, so it sort of keeps them in. Although I put some stuff in one, and I went to pick it up, and I'd forgotten to zip it up, and all the stuff scattered everywhere. And it's like Jenga or Tetris, where you put things in suitcases, and you think, wow, I've got loads in, and it's all there. And when it falls out again, it's all higgledy-biggledy, and you can't fold it back up again and put it back in. So it was like, so I just sort of shoved it in and zipped it up really hard, but it's all right now. It's just the things that I found, like during the early days of the times that I made some homemade. Don't know whether you can tell what these are. Look, I made them with some cloth, and I put like a ribbon so that I could balance what I was using as filters. I bought the stuff that you get for cooker hoods. It's the filters for cooker hoods, and I put that inside. Much use they were, but I mean, they did stop me getting anything until quite near the end of the thing, when it was all like almost over. Is it over? Is anything over? No. Felt. No, it's not made of felt. It's made of just some sort of random cloth that I found hanging around. Whoa. I don't know what's going to happen now. Where we go? La la la. Anyway, yeah, my dad phoned me up. Got interrupted that. My dad phoned me up on his phone to tell me that they're going to get a wardrobe for me, which is good, so I can store some of my stuff in a wardrobe. I mean, mostly my clothes the wardrobe here, I just sort of shoved them in the bottom of the wardrobe. I'm not very good at hanging things up, so I've got to really work at that. And also, because there were so many broken suitcases in front of the wardrobe, I couldn't get to the wardrobe. So I just kept them in the broken suitcases, mainly. They've been boxes for quite a while. But, yeah, so I don't know what to do now, and I'm hoping that it all goes in the van. I messaged him on WhatsApp and said, oh, I'm a bit worried about it all going in the van. He said, well, your mum said it was just books that was going. And also, the question was, are you going with them? Or are you staying in London? It's like, well, I can't stay in London. Well, my stuff's going to be in Wales. I'm going to be having to come with you. So, my mum's apparently got him a cake, and my dad's painted him a picture, and he can have all my wine that I am not in otherwise. I've got like 2 bottles of wine that he can have, so he can have all of that. I hope he does drink but not drive. I hope that he will take the wine, but not until after I've been driven to Wales with, and then he can have the cake and everything. I don't know what's the deal. My mum has offered to pay him for his services. That's very good. So that's good. So he's not doing it he's doing it out of the good of his heart, but also we're gonna give him the money for it. So that's very kind, because I didn't think that I was gonna have anyone to bring all the stuff. So yeah, Wales and cake and wine and money, exactly. Just bribe him to take all my stuff. And then I don't really know whether the van's big enough. I'm still a bit worried about that. I'm going to be anxious until it all goes in. And also, all my suitcases are upstairs because there's not room in the hall to put all my stuff. So I'm going to have to get up early enough to take all the stuff down and then clamber over it in order to get into the van to put the stuff away. It's just like, I've just run out of everything. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm just completely blah. So yeah, it's a season of goodwill and joy. It's hopefully it doesn't rain, but hopefully he'll drive close enough that I can just sort of he'll open the back of the van and I'll just sort of throw it in. Just close enough. There is a drive, so that's probably just as well. Vans and stairs and suitcases. Well, fortunately, once I've got it down the stairs, it's not going to go. But then on the other side, I have to get it into my parents' house. And fortunately, there's not steps going into the house, but I'm going to have to get them upstairs. There's a back room that we've cleared that my mother spent ages and ages clearing all the stuff out of, and now it's just going to be full of all my stuff now. I got rid of so much stuff. I should have got rid of more stuff, but it's really difficult. It's really difficult to part with stuff. I threw loads of stuff away, loads of papers, and loads of food that I definitely wasn't going to eat, and I gave so much to charity. Has a crane. Hire a crane. Yes, I'll get a crane. Fraser crane can put all the stuff in his house. because he's got a whole apartment building in the new series. That's a spoiler, isn't it? Yeah. So, I've started watching that, and it's just like, it's not as bad as it's got better. I actually laughed, half a laugh in the last episode of that, which is amazing, because I was not really laughing at all for the first few episodes, but it's alright. Yeah, it's watchable. So there's not much, everything's finishing now. There's not much TV. There is Doctor Who to come, but not for a couple of weeks. Doctor Who to come. I watched the concert, just watched the concert of the music, all the music, and controversial opinion, but I think the guy that took over from Murray Gold, that did the music for the 13th Doctor, was actually much better. Somebody's making a noise. Oh, it's fireworks! I thought somebody was knocking on the door, but it's fireworks, because it's November the 5th. Remember the 5th of November. It is gunpowder, treason and plot. I see no reason why it should be forgotten, except for that it's very noisy and it's a very grim thing, really. It's like, I see quite a lot of reasons why it should be forgotten, really, because it's all a little bit like, yeah, and the whole thing where you used to have like an effigy that you would put on a big bonfire back in the day. You don't get that so much these days, so maybe it's less grim. But you do get scary fireworks that scare all the pets, so that's not so great, really. Yes, happy November the 5th, but it's also Diwali, so there's a lot of fireworks everywhere. La 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 la. Exactly. It will be Diwali soon. Exactly. It's sort of the run-up of, that's what I was saying, the run-up to that. But I'm not going to be here, and there's lots of people that celebrate it around here. There's not so many people that celebrate it in the area where I'm going to go. It's not that it's not multicultural, it's just not as multicultural, so there's not as much going on, and also it's, it's more of a countrified area, so any sort of displays are going to be organised centrally. So maybe there will be Diwali celebrations where I'm going, but they won't be in people's backyards. They might be in one of the conurbations. So possibly in Cumbrian or Newport, there might be things. There was probably, but I don't know. People don't organise things anymore. People don't go anywhere or do anything. It's all packed up. I found out the other day that, I saw something about them building a new Google building. Google. A new Google building in King's Cross. And then I thought, but they had a Google building, and it had a YouTube sort of YouTubers sort of meeting point, and if you got over 10,000 subscribers, you could go there and you could have free drinks and you could hang out, you get studio space. And I've been to a couple of events there, and it's something to aspire to. I was like, whoa, when I get 10,000 subscribers, maybe I can go there and hang out. But I haven't been there since before the times that necessitated making this out of tat. And so I thought, maybe they haven't got that there. And then I found out yesterday they definitely haven't. They have no plans to reopen the YouTube space, which is outrageous, because I'm still nowhere near 10,000 subscribers, and I'm not going to be anywhere near the YouTube space after tomorrow. But even so, the principle of the thing, it's like, everything's closed, there's nothing. I want to start some sort of huge, amazing hangout space in Pontypool for everyone, all the writers and poets and artists to come and hang out with me. But I don't know how that can possibly be. I don't know how many writers and artists and poets and actors there are in the Pontypool area. There must be some. There used to be some. It's all sort of dried up, really, everywhere. Like that, I've said it before, the place where I did foundation drama, gone. The whole college is gone. And the place where I did youth theatre, and there was theatre in education. So I remember asking the people that were auditioning for theatre in education, they had a big, I was 13 or 14, it was like, that's something I could do. How do you get into it? You go to drama school and you send us things and you come back, and they had all actors, and there was like Gary Meredith, who was this guy that had alopecia and was on a lot of Welsh TV, and I think his son went to my school. I certainly knew his son. His son, I think, had red hair, so I think he must have had red hair anyway. Gary Meredith was in a load of things on BBC Wales and stuff. He appeared in loads of stuff, and he was also in theatre and education, and then we did the youth theatre in the same building, and that's gone. None of that's there anymore. It's like, what is there left? Nothing, everything's closed. The actor centre Centre. They used to have that. I thought, whoa, I'll join that. I found the membership card for the time that I did join it. That's closed. That's not there anymore. Nothing's there anymore. What is there? It's all decentralised, but in decentralising, nothing is left. So I don't know what to do. And obviously, I'm still going to make videos and stuff, and I'm going to try and get out and about. It's not great in the winter to try and get out and about for walks because it's cold, but I will try and get somewhere and do some stuff. I still want to visit the stone circle at the top of the mountain, but I think I might leave that till the spring thaw, and when it's like, when I don't get waterlogged and cold and exposure up there. So I might do that. Have I been to East Anglia? I don't know whether I've been to I think I've been towards East Anglia. I've certainly done gigs towards that way, but I'm not sure. I've been in sort of towards East Anglia, but I'm not sure. I think family history wise, I think there's probably patches of my family that came from East Anglia way back, just because when you go way back, you've got thousands and thousands of ancestors, thousands upon millions. So eventually everyone is from, I mean, I uploaded my DNA, which is pretty just much, it used to say interesting things on Ancestry, but it pretty much just says 76% Welsh and some other stuff, but mostly Welsh now. But I uploaded it to My Heritage ages ago, and it said that I had, and they updated it recently, and it used to say that I had Native American, and now it says I've still got Native American, like 1.2% from Ancestry, and like 1.4% Middle Eastern, and then 1.8% Greek and Italian. I was like, whoa, exciting, because that's not showing up. So I uploaded 23andMe that I've also got, which is pretty boring. It's like some British and a bit of Cyprus, that says. So I uploaded that thinking, well, that's just going to be boring then, because, it's a different DNA test. And they said, oh, you could do it for free a couple of weeks ago. And it took 3 weeks. It said 5 to 7 days to process, but it took 3 weeks. But it came up yesterday. And I thought, well, it's going to be different because, the different DNA companies and stuff. But obviously it's the same DNA, just different patches of it that they've tested. So that says pretty much the same thing, except one of them had me as more Welsh than English, and one of them had more English than Welsh. But that also had the Middle Eastern, the Native, slightly more Native, 1.4% it said, but slightly less Middle Eastern. It said 0.9% rather than 1.2%, and now 1.8% Greek. And it's like, oh, well, I don't know whether any of that's true, but it's very exciting. Woohoo! It's like, I don't know who's excited by it. I am. Nobody else. It's like, I'm still excited. I don't know how that came to be, but I'm going to take it anyway. La 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 la, la 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 la. So I'm quite interested in a very minor way. And I'm looking into that. If it's in any way genuine, that nearly 2% is like the late 1700s. So something's happened in the late 1700s where one of my hundreds of thousands of ancestors, which you've got at that point, was from somewhere else than Wales. Whoa! But 76% Wales is more than either of my parents, because they've got their DNA done. Like, my mum's about 48% and my dad's about 56%. But because the way that genes and DNA goes is they smush them together and you get bits from both parents, and I've got all of their Welsh. All of their Welsh smushed it. Well, I mean, it would obviously not all of their Welsh, because that would be 99%. It would be even more Welsh. So I haven't got all of their Welsh, but I've got significantly more than either of them. I'm the Welshest Welsh that ever Welsh. The Welshy, Welshy, Welsh. I'm a whale. A whale. Yes, so that's fun. Now, I started trying to do NaNoWriMo, but not with any great degree of enthusiasm, because I've had other things on my mind. I've been packing things up. So rather than that, I've been sort of like dabbling. I sort of added stuff to a short story collection, and then I did a little bit for some sort of thing about the pucker, so puck and all of that, and I just sort of did an outline for that. And then I thought, maybe if I talked about the Viking Norse, I'd never mentioned the word Viking in it, but it's a sort of cod Norse novel. It's not really in any way genuine. It's just like it's using aspects of it and I'm making it up, really. Which you can, that's all. It's not historically accurate. It's made up. Anyway, I started that about 10 years ago. I got 50 2,000 words into it. And also, the last time I left it, I knew that I'd got them stuck up a fjord in the middle of the winter and it was frosty and I was never going to get them out of it. So I was like, ugh. So I thought, I'm just going to write. And then they decided to get out of it. And then I looked back and I realised that about a year ago, I'd already written almost exactly the same thing. That the captain of the ship had told everyone, we just tell them, oh, good, we'll just turn back. We're it's fine. We won't keep going to Uppsala. We'll go the other way. I'd already decided on that, and still I didn't write anything about it. But then, when I realised that that's what I decided, I suddenly came to a grinding halt again. And also, it's 10 years since I wrote it, but there are little plot points that if you've ever seen Our Flag Means Death, even though that's set in the Caribbean in the piratey times, which is significantly later than the North Sea Viking times, there's a lot of plot points and character things that are similar to that. In a way, it's a sort of in the same general genre. And because it was a long time before that I wrote it, but now I've seen that, and it's like, oh, I'm finding it quite hard to not go just writing fan fiction for that. Also, I'm just also thinking, well, people are just going to think that I copied that. And obviously I didn't, because I wrote it 10 years beforehand. So I sort of ground to a halt with that. So I'm going to, maybe when I get back to Wales and I've got a little bit of breathing space and I've unpacked everything, I'll start writing it. But with NaNoWriMo, you're supposed to write 50,000 words in 30 days. And I'm obviously not going to do that because I haven't really, it's the 5th and I'm a little bit behind. But I've made a bit of an effort. But I've already got 52,000 for the one. And any work is better than no work, really. So maybe I'll sort out the short story collection, quite a short story collection, and then you can read that, and then you can pay me money for it, and that will help spur me towards greater skill and achievement, and I'll go, yay, because I need to find something to do. That's why I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I tell you what I really do want is somebody to put me in a sitcom. If you've got a sitcom and you want me to put it in it, want to put me in it, what am I talking about? I can't even talk. Anyway, look at the wallpaper. That's what the backdrop was covering up. It was trying to disguise the fact that I'm in this haunted nursery place, but I am here. It's because the backdrop is brown and surprisingly small because it's sort of deconstructed and you can shove it into smaller spaces. So it's not going to take up an awful lot of room, even though it took up a whole of this back wall. It's actually not taking up that much room when you fold it up and stick it in bits. But I've still got the light that I'm going to put down. Do things, exactly. I need to do things. Straight back to Africa. Yes, exactly. It's down to biological stuff. Everybody's got everything in them. Everybody's lots of different people. Yay. I'd love to see what I would do if I made my own sitcom, but I haven't got the money to do that, and I haven't got a production company. But if I did, maybe I'd have to write it. And as I said, I'm a little bit sort of like, oh gosh, I'm just, I had a load of ideas to do this whole extended pucker, the pucker thing. You've seen the video of the pucker, the whole thing, and I had all sorts of ideas about how to weave it into history and bring it in and have I will be in the area where I'm going to be writing about, so maybe that'll bring me inspiration, and maybe that's what if the story that I will tell and weave when I start to do the publicity for this extensive, not the Norse one, because obviously I'm not going to Sweden and Norway, and that's not where or Denmark, anywhere, that's not where I'm going, but the other one. So, so I've got more than one project on the go. I've got so many projects that I've never finished, is the problem. But, when I do the publicity for the one that's based in the area of Wales where I'm from and where I'm going to go back to, that'll be the whole thing. I went there and I wrote all this amazing stuff, and I was inspired by the landscape and the mystery and the myth. Because there are a lot of myths that I didn't realise were from that area. Used to this one about a lake in the Black Mountains where somebody disappeared, and it's like, hang on, how many lakes in the Black Mountains do I know? I only know of the one that's in the Blorange, that rhymes with orange, that's supposedly a man-made lake, but it doesn't say when it was made, and it's got like an island in the middle, and it's got like a legend of a pike and that lives in there, that's been there for like 200 years, and it's that it's really deep, that goes down to the depths of the earth. But it's also, you know, if that's the lake where people disappeared and they were taken away by the people, the little people, and also the fairy circle at the top of the mountain, which, you know, like I said, I saw it on a whole thing. It's like, if you look on Google Earth, you're like, oh, I see, that's where it is, but it's all grown over. I didn't know about any of this. So, you know, I can research that and make up the rest. So I'll make the myth, I'll base it on myths that I've heard and myths that I've made up. So that's Dace. Cairn Idris is somewhere else. It's a cairn, but I mean, all the places where I'm going, they're called Garn. There's a lot of places called Garn, because Garn is like the Welsh name for a cairn. So all the place names have got Garn in the name, then I would say that all the places have probably got ancient cairns. So the corrie, the pond in it's apparently the most southerly corrie. Cum is the Welsh word for it. Is a cum. It's like a little lake in a mountain. But it's the one in the Blorange is the most southerly cum corrie in the whole of Britain. Amazing. So there's definitely something to be said there. It's a spooky place. Go and see the video of the Blorange. Yay! Good woody sound. A cairn is a good woody sound, but it's actually, a cairn is not a woody. It is a stony thing. Stony. Oh, you make me happy, Crow. Oh, yes, exactly. Go and see my videos. I'm making videos of whales. It will be very exciting. Everything will sail away. And I will do all sorts of amazing stuff. And you will be amazed. And you will be astonished. And I will make you laugh. And I will make you cry. And you will go, hooray! And you will go, woo! And you will go, oh! And you will go, ha ha ha! Yes, exactly. Work safe. Yes, work safe, have fun. Exactly. And that's the trouble though. If I'm doing this all on my own, I'm trying to film myself at the top of a spooky mountain that's got a reputation for people disappearing and being kidnapped by the fairy folk on my own in the winter, where it's cold and damp and wet and blustery, and there's swamps. I tried to get to the Devil's Heap of Stones once, and I went up the mountain, and I got so far, and I was like, I can see it, hooray, oh no, there was a swampy swamp all the way between me and it, which was I don't know whether it's there the whole of the year, but certainly when I was there, it was like marshy boggy bog, the boggy bogs, the bogs where the cairns and the pixies live, and the puckers and all sorts of things. Take people with you. I probably do need to, but that's it. I've got a friend, Rachel, who I go walks for. She came to the Blorange with me. She's come up the mountain. She was there in the folly, and I tried to keep her out of the video. I mean, I can ask her whether she wants to be in the videos, but I didn't want to video her unless she did. So I was trying to work around it. But sometimes there are people with me, and I try not to have them in shot unless they want to be in shot. So yeah, definitely go up with Rachel. So I certainly said that we should go to the Devil's Heap of Stones, and we meant to do that, but I didn't really have time the last time. I think something came up, that some visitors came, and she had to entertain the visitors, so we never went up the Devil's Heap of Stones that time. But on the way to the Devil's Heap of Stones and all the cairns, there's like the sheep stones as well, the deafard. Anyway, I can't remember what the word for sheep is. Anyway, there's lots and lots of stones and interesting things, but much better when there's someone with you, because if you fall down a crevice, they can pick you up again, unless both of you fall down the crevice, in which case that's a little bit less helpful, really. Maybe you need more than one person, maybe you need more than two people, maybe you need 3 or 4 people, and you can have a little mountain rescue all between you. Yeah, Daffad, yes, exactly. Yes, it's Daffad. It's a sheepstone. It's not the sheep's. It's not the sheep's. It's not the sheepstone. It's the sheepstone. The plural of sheep is sheep. In English, obviously not in Welsh. So it's a sheepstone. There's maybe more than one sheepstone, but that's all it is. And there's all sorts of interesting things on the top of the mountain, but you do really need to not go there on your own. You need company. You've got to have friends. Yes, exactly. You've got to have friends. So this is the last of me here, and you will see me next in Wales, and maybe I'll come back to London. And maybe I'll look and play with snails, and maybe not. Yeah. Anyway, I've got to pack this guitar up. As if I can play it, as if having it with me will make any difference at all. I've got another guitar in London. I have 2 guitars. Maybe I'll play them both at the same time. Yes, thank you very much. Right, well, I will see you very soon, and I've got to finish packing things up and make sure that everything's ready to go and that I don't trip over it. And I've got to pack up the light as well. So I'll see you very soon. I hope it does. Good, yes. Have a good week to you too. See you very soon. Bye-bye.